Alright, so we are about to go up into the second game of this Grand Final series in the Netolic Raidcall Open Weekly America's Cup. With no fire, Wisp Bottom taking out the first game, they're going to be up into the second game, attempting to close this out and winning their second week of this tournament in a row. I'm Vickermon, joining me is El Presidente. How you doing, man?
Dude, feeling good. And that is the most disturbing game title team name I've seen all week. I'm sure Blaze is so amused by that. You know what? I gotta open up the chat.
And we do have FFS, really, guys. Actually, I'm gonna leave the chat window open. I'm just gonna leave it. It's like it's like when John Ashcroft became Secretary of State of the U.S. in 2000, and he put like little fig leaves in all the naked statues in the White House. That's what we're doing right now with this chat window and this lobby.
Oh, Blaze's reactions are pretty amusing, but
I don't think he's too happy about this situation.
No, he was not too happy about this. This is awesome.
All right, so we're going up into we got we switched sides, so we have the Radiant, no fire, and then Ice on the Dire, and the first pick is Darkseer. So let's talk about what Ice need to do in the drafting phase this time. What do you think?
They gotta draft a more cohesive team. The last setup kind of had them on the back foot. Really, the entire time. The fact was, when it came down to it, when it came down to big team fights, which was going to win the game for No Fire Wisp Bottom, Ice had nothing.
I think the draft started going wrong for them with the Queen of Pain pick. So they knew that they had the Magnus and Rubik on the other side, and I think they almost pigeonholed themselves with the Quap, and really left themselves open to the follow-up with the Silencer and the other heroes that they picked up in addition to that. And so the Queen of Pain, especially since later on in the draft they ended up taking PL, who has almost no synergy with Queen of Pain in terms of your strategy. Like, you have a no-push, pure gank magic, and then you have a pushing hard carry.
Absolutely. But looking at this draft, we are seeing really just standard picks. Look at this. Rubik, Shadow Demon. Oh, yeah. There we go. One of my favorite heroes, Gyrocopter, hits the field.
Yep. I do want to note, this. I almost feel like Ice Gaming is taking this Rubik. This is like a pseudo-ban, almost. It's not necessarily that they needed to take the Rubik second, but they really, really, really didn't want to leave themselves open to the picking a Rubik and a big teamfight hero at the same time, which is one of the things that they fell prey to in that last game.
The way Ice Gaming is looking, I think they're going to pick up the Life Sealer here and run a Tri-Lane.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, that would give them all the components of their Tri-Lane immediately.
They have a very strong Tri-Lane with Shadow Demon, Rubik, and Life Sealer. On the other hand, it's very easy to predict No Fire Wisp Bottom lanes. You got the Darkseer in the off lane, Queen Pain in the mid, Gyrocopter farming.
Safe lane, yep. Definitely, that's almost certainly what we'll see. There is the possible left turn of using the Gyrocopter not as their primary farmer, but I think almost certainly we'll still see that.
We could see an Akicopter.
Yeah, Akicopter. Exactly. So they do take Puck. That does give them. One of the nice things, I was about to say that if they did take the Lifestealer and they form their Tri-Lane, it leaves them open to some pretty strong just banning out of... It's tough to find a mid that can trade well against a Quap, and then if you leave yourself 3 bans to sort of be banned out, you end up with a very deficient lane in that lane. So I think that's why they actually go for the Puck. I think we're probably going to see this Puck going up against the Quap in the middle.
Absolutely, but Puck isn't a really strong laner, which is kind of his biggest weakness. Well, he does have some really good teamfight utility. Dream Coil has deceptively long range. Deceptively long range. He doesn't really have a lot of laning presence. Like, you could say the Illusionary Orb.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, the nice thing about Puck is that she's not tremendously weak to dying to Quap. Oh, Puck is definitely a lady. I've had this argument with co-casters before. You could keep saying he, but we
No, it's not an it. I mean, he.
It is an it. It is an it.
I'm pretty sure Puck is an it now.
Puck is not actually sex. That's true. It's a genderless species.
I have this discussion every time with every co-caster that I ever do this with. I'm pretty sure Puck is an it.
Yeah, well, I'm fine with it. But regardless, the nice thing about Puck is that it doesn't have a tremendous disadvantage against Quap, because it can dodge those shadow strikes with the phase shift, and it can trade blows sometimes. It just doesn't really fear the Quap gank 1v1 mid as much as some other heroes do.
It sort of reminds me of how in the Fistful of Tangos we got Fear versus S4's Queen of Pain.
Yes.
And like it does showcase Puck's strength in the sense that for a person like Fear, who has very conservative defensive player, Puck is king.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When you're not thinking about making big plays, but you're instead making enemy lives miserable by making yourself unkillable,
Right.
that's a big play.
Absolutely. So, just quickly going through the bans, we actually do see both teams banning out the carry of the other team in the ban phase, so we do get the silencer taken out on one side. So Ice Gaming decides they don't want to see the silencer, especially not Whitebeard on the silencer again. They take him out in the second ban phase. And on the other hand, we do get not only the PL taken out, but other carry options in the form of the Luna and the Lifestealer. So Lifestealer would have been a very, very strong option. He's definitely good against Quap. He's pretty good against Gyro. And so that option is now foreclosed to Ice because they did pick up that puck for their third pick.
Absolutely. Lifestealer is probably one of the strongest 1v1 heroes in the game.
Yep, absolutely.
There are very few heroes that can brawl with him just because he has that passive lifesteal.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, he has he has magic immunity.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to fight.
I mean, it's magic immunity and attack speed steroid. So like you can get in and you're like you think it might be going well, but then it just pops rage and just lifesteals all the way back up.
Yeah, and then you die. And one of my favorite lifestealer builds is the lifestealer build, where you build a Satanic.
I don't. It is a good build. It's fun. We don't usually see it at the professional level, just because.
No, you don't usually see it just because it's like levels of trolling that doesn't usually make it to this level. But I saw a Riki pick today, so, and like I'm not even joking. Well, besides like competitive teams, because I know Fnatic picked Riki a couple of times. In the games I've casted today from South Africa, I saw Riki picked up, and the Riki won them the game.
Nice.
With like old school Fury on Riki tactics.
Wow, that is pretty old school. Now, speaking of picks that aren't quite as popular lately, we do see the Sven. So definitely a strong. I think probably this is going to be something like the Sven and the Lina will be the tri-lane supports, and we're going to see the Gyrocopter farming. Although you could also do Sven farming with Gyrocopter as a support. I think the upside potential of that is a little lower. And Clinks, actually, two usually solo lane heroes getting taken by Ice Gaming last. So probably the Clinks will be the safe lane farmer, but
no, it looks like they want the Weaver on the safe lane.
Yeah, it looks like their number one Benjaz is going to be on the Weaver.
With Benjaz. Daiko is actually going to be soloing the long lane with Puck, and they're running the mid with Clinks.
Yeah, I guess in terms of which players are on which, that does look like what they're doing. Definitely interesting choices.
Whitebeard is taking the Gyrocopter, so they are farming the Gyrocopter from running the support Sven. Yep. Sven has pretty much come complete circle.
Yeah, because he used to be just purely support, more or less.
Like Chinese era support Sven, period. Yeah. Play him any other way, you get laughed out of Chinese Dota. And then he got buffed.
Right, and then he became the carry pick for a hot minute, more or less, especially in concert with Magnus.
And then he barely got nerfed, and he's now...
Yeah, and everybody just immediately like, fuck it. Forget
Sven wasn't that good to begin with, didn't matter.
Right. All right, so let's quickly introduce the teams again. So we've flipped sides for this game 2, and we do have this tri-lane of Whitebeard on the Gyrocopter for No Fire Wisp bottom, Dom Dead for I can't get through this name on the support Sven, and then It's Your Boy on the Lina filling out the tri-lane. Finally, we do have KVH up on this Queen of Pain going into the middle, and we'll have Windrunner, who is now Darkseer. This is going to be a little less confusing because Windrunner and Weaver sound pretty similar, but Windrunner and Darkseer are very distinct hero names, and he's going to be going up probably to the solo lane as that Darkseer.
All right, looking at Ice Game, we got Daiko solo mating Puck. We got Mila soloing his easy lane with Clinks, and we got a offensive tri-lane played by Ice with Moonra, Zend, and Benjaz. Benjaz. I'm gonna say Benjaz. So I'm gonna keep it consistent.
Benjaz sounds good. These are very interesting lanes. So they do have the solo safe. They have who's usually their solo mid player, but he will be playing the solo safe Clinks. And then the puck, we do see the Puck middle, which is what I initially expected for the Puck, just because it's a pretty good trade with Queen of Pain.
I think this is going to be a dead Clinks.
And then the aggressive tri-lane. Yeah, they are good. That looks like No Fire Wisp bottom. I looked at their name and I was like, that can't be right. It does look like No Fire Wisp bottom are going to... They were trying for First Blood, but I guess the Clinks is just positioned in such a way that it'll be difficult for them to get it. But this is a dangerous lane for Clinks, no question about it. I mean, if that Sven stun lands, that's death.
Preemptive Sentry Ward's goodbye, because they were going to be good in any lane here.
Especially considering the Weaver and the Clinks both stealth primarily as their escape mechanism. There was no way that Sentry Wards would not be useful, basically.
Absolutely. But Mila is going to be very, very dead if he takes even one step out. That's just because the Rocket Barrage is complete bullshit.
It is one of the highest damage abilities at level 1, just in terms of...
level 1 is 330, which puts it, I think, second behind Juggernaut's Blade Fury.
Yeah. If the entire duration of the Blade Fury, yeah.
But at max level, Rocket Barrage is a 600... Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
They cut through the trees, and the Sentry Ward goes down, and this is almost certainly a first blood. Excellent coordination by No Fire there, and just jumping right in there. Cutting through the trees with the Sven, using up those tangos, getting through, landing the stun, putting down the Sentry Ward, chaining with the Lina stun, and then the Rocket Barrage to finish things off.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what he's doing in the trees. He's just cutting through them.
Yeah.
And then, boom, stun out of nowhere.
The lumberjack gag. Absolutely. So it looks like Ice have realized just how dire of a situation this is for Clinks, and so they have rotated. They're going to run the safe lane, tri-lane around the... Or actually, what the heck? So they've got two up here. They've got the Rubik and the Shadow Doom, but the Clinks is rotated? They might just move the Weaver top as well, so they'll rotate the entire tri-lane top.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. And they're going to go for 1 versus 1 Clinks against Darkseer.
I don't know. I think that was kind of a little bit of a mistake. They could have just left Ben Hollis on the bot lane. He would have been fine.
Yeah, I thought they could have just had the Weaver 1 versus 1 against the Darkseer at this point and just given the Clinks support. But I think they really, really want to give the Clinks the additional levels, like the solo lane, and so that's why they did the full trade-off with the try for the 1.
Absolutely. We're seeing Sentry Ward is being dropped to de-ward this camp, so that's been de-warded.
So that'll give them a little more room to develop here. But what do you think about this try versus try now? This Weaver, Rubik,
it's still straight the way of... I was about to say it, you know? No Fire Wisp bottom. I don't know who keeps setting their team names. This is getting really straight.
Just go with No Fire.
I'm still giving it to No Fire. Just because the Rubik and the Shadow Demon, as supporty as they are, not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to keep them.
I think it'll be tough for them to actually get kills, is the thing. This is a lane where against 3 versus 1, I think they could definitely get a kill. Actually, they're just chaining up the stuns. That homing missile excellently timed, and another kill for No Fire at the bottom in the top lane here. This time on the Rubik, so just catching him with the edge of that homing missile gives the room for the additional 2 stuns. This is just such a scary lane to lane against, I feel like.
Absolutely, it's not one that you want to be laying against. Look at Ben Haas. He's just trying to run, but he's just taking so much damage. What can he do about it? There's a little rocket just sent
from the homing missile just to Actually, that homing missile is going to do really respectable damage. Okay, yeah, he does.
It's not going to do anything because you can use Invis, but
that's actually why he's saving the mana. And Shadow Demon in a lot of trouble here. They land the Lina stuns. The Lina stuns going to lead this up, and this is just going to be another Rocket Barrage. This is going to be their 3rd kill up here. And this is a disaster for Ice, I feel like. This tri-lane isn't working out any better than the solo versus 3 lane did.
Yeah, it basically turned into, hey, there's 1 target, into, hey, there are 3 people we can kill. And exactly. they've killed 3 people, right. So it's clearly working for them.
Right. Now, the Weaver is getting pretty decent development, but Puck is definitely losing a little bit in the middle lane here. She's not really able to... He's not really able to...
It's not really able
to stand up against the Queen of Pain. Doing okay, I think, but still not really managing to carry a massive advantage here. And in the bottom lane, we do see Darkseer and Clinks more or less both getting even development at this point. So the Clinks will be able to get some development. He will be moving towards Orchid when he can.
Yeah, Whitebeard's on a little bit of low health, but it's like not that big of a deal.
I think you're still feeling pretty safe if you're this Gyrocopter, just because you do have this incredible support from the Sven and Lina, who have gotten decent levels. I mean, the one downside of your aggressive tri-lane is always that it's tough to make sure that your supports actually get the levels in it. But if you're getting kills consistently, that's not something you need to worry about.
Oh, I think Zen is going to get caught out. Here comes...
Wow, this Shadow Demon just walking right into this, and this is going to be the Lina stun once again. There's just an incredible amount of damage that goes out in this tri-lane. It really just is. Actually, the Weaver doing a good job, Shukachi, to catch up to the... He dodges the stun from Lina on the way back as well. Sven doesn't quite have enough mana to land this stun, so the Weaver's going to get away with a kill on the Gyrocopter and his life, so that's definitely good for them. They do lose his support, but trading off the Gyrocopter for that is about the best you can ask for from Ice at this point.
Absolutely. But, you know, it still comes down to Gyrocopter picks up his phase, and Ben Haas still not...
that'll give him such chasing ability.
Here it comes. Ben Haas is dead.
The Rocket Barrage is going through, and Rubik will cop this homing missile, and that'll be the rest of his health. So that's actually a kill for the Gyrocopter again. And actually, the Sven throws out a big stun on the Weaver, and they've got the Sentry Ward to follow it up, and that's another huge problem for Ice. They're getting completely picked apart in this try versus try situation. This is... Yeah. I've never seen this particular three configuration of Lina, Sven, Gyro, with the Gyro as the farmer, but it's really effective. I mean, especially against really squishy heroes. Like,
This is a really, really old school support team. Sven Lina used to be very common as a support team, just because it's a reliable stun with unreliable stun.
Well, yeah, the presence of the stun and the presence of any setup stun gives the Lina.
Right, and it gives them a lot of stun time, and then the gyrocopter just does so much damage.
Yeah, that's really, I think that's what I'm really loving. On top of it is the fact that it's the gyrocopter as the third member, because the Sven Lina alone, actually we do get a pick off on the Darkseer at the bottom, so good rotation from the puck gives them the opportunity to get that Darkseer kill, and I think that's what they have to hope for, because this tri lane is not going to win at this point. They're not going to win this tri versus tri. I
was really hoping for some more tree stupidity.
Yeah. He needs quelling to do more stupid tree tricks. I want to note though, the simple fact is, these are three heroes that are very low base HP. The Shadow Demon, Rubik, Homing Missile going out on the creep, so that's not very useful for them. But they do get the stun out. This Weaver's going to die again. Again, Weaver, Rubik, Shadow Demon. These are low survivability heroes. These are heroes that are going to have a huge amount of difficulty early on dealing against the huge damage potential of just the Sven stun, Lina stun, the Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage. I almost think maybe the Rubik should have picked up more ranks of Nullfield rather than Fade Bolt. As weird of an early build as that is, the additional survivability might have been useful.
I think he needed more points of telekinesis than Fade Bolt, to be honest. But
well, he definitely, so 2 in Fade Bolt and 1 in TK I think is wrong too. It should be 2. It should be the other way around. But I also think maybe Nullfield would actually be useful for that. Might be too late at this point.
It's a little bit late.
Yeah. Just as a hindsight thing.
Yeah, as a hindsight, they're probably thinking to themselves, well, this is... It's not even that they got out-drafted. Their draft is fine. Both teams' drafts are actually really good.
Oh, yeah,
right? I wouldn't give either of them, an edge.
Right.
It came to the execution. And this tri-lane just showed
Fire
up.
has played their tri-lane to a T, I think. They've done exactly what they needed to do. Right from that huge play with the tree cutting, the sideways Sven entry.
Yeah, no, that was... I'm sure Milo was thinking to himself, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, how was I not safe there? Actually, Puck in a lot of trouble here. He does the Shadow Strike. Excellent silence, so good to Dreamquest follow-up as well. This Gyrocopter actually copying a lot of damage. Obviously, he won't take the second ticket, though. Will he face... He does avoid the homing missile, too, so excellent, amazing play from Puck there. They managed to pick up a kill. Will he get 2? He actually gets 2, so he picks up the Gyrocopter as well as the Queen of Pain, so that backfired in a huge way. No Fire using their advantage to questionable ends.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's really hard to gang
It's hard
Puck.
to kill Puck, yeah.
there are heroes that are hard to kill. You got your centaurs because max movement speed.
He has the mana to get away, so he's actually okay.
But the Puck is actually almost impossible to kill.
And I mean, the thing about it is too, you have the Queen of Pain and the Gyrocopter, both of whom have pretty easily dodgeable spells with Evocation, right? Actually, another stun. Actually, Weaver in a ton of trouble here. He's right under a sentry web. He does use the backtrack, and that actually manages to get a kill on the Gyrocopter again. Both hits of the call down going out. Now the Queen of Pain will be able to mop this up quite a bit. Weaver going down, Rubik going down. Will the Puck survive? Might not. This is going to be another interesting game of cat and mouse here. The Puck is going to jump over, but Sven actually only on a few health. Another kill for Puck here, so definitely the bright spot for them right now is just how much damage this Puck is doing to these engagements.
That was so overkill, just watching Lina come out of nowhere.
Ult? Yeah. They probably did need to ult that Shadow Demon. It's not like he has...
No, honestly, he probably should have popped that on the Puck, but...
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have gotten furious if Puck managed to phase shift in time, though.
Oh, yeah, phase shifting out a Lina ult a bit. And actually, Lina in trouble here again. Puck managing to do work in this game. They do take down the Lina, and a lot of damage getting thrown on top. She still has 3 seconds on her cooldown. Will this Weaver be able to get this kill? He will. Puck, unfortunately, in a little bit of trouble from the Sven, but this game is becoming wide open all of a sudden. Wow.
Absolutely. We're seeing Daiko just, hey, I'm Puck.
Yes.
I can do anything.
Right. Puck has absolutely changed the character of this game. He's 4-0-3, so even though he lost the last hit battle in the middle, he's been doing so much more than this Quap has.
But they did end up trading their mid tower.
They did lose the tower, yeah. So that's very good. Honestly, good play by Whitebeard. They're not making that weird semi-disastrous team fight any worse than it already was by trying to go back in there. Just making sure he gets his farm, gets that middle tower, and manages to make some sort of trade-off. Because Ice did get the vastly better of that weird long engagement. That took them back into the game, I feel like.
Absolutely. It took a 3-7 into an 8-10, so... Or 10-8.
Definitely something that happened. Shadow Demon looking to try to maybe capture this Darkseer again. This is going to be tough for them without any sort of stuns, but... I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
think
if
it's
he
just wording.
pops Surge in time, it can get purged, but Shadow Team is not level 6.
Yeah, he's
so.
not even 6 to actually do that. Shadow Demon doing a little better than the levels situation was in the last game when he was still like level 2 at this point. Rubik in a lot of trouble once again. He did pick up 1 rank in the meltdown. Weaver actually making a pretty serious mistake getting caught out by that Lina stuff. He does manage to time stop just in time to not actually die to the Lina ultimate. But I don't think they can get much more of this. That all they can do is really not have the Rubik die. And it looks like No Fire might be looking for the tier 1 top as well. They are peeling back. I think they know that the puck is rotating over. They do have good vision. They've managed to see that the puck is here.
Yeah, it's just that they realize that the puck is having much more impact than they thought it was.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's gonna have puck has been showing up, getting good dream coils off, keeping them in such positions that they really can't afford to fight anymore, and that's why they're just waiting in the trees.
Yep. And meanwhile, KVH, this Queen of Pain, I think was looking for a kill on Clinks, but he's just far back enough that it's going to be difficult to actually do it.
Absolutely, Clinks is getting
in the tower a little bit.
Decently close to his
orbit. Dream Coil out on the Gyrocopter, and a lot of damage getting thrown out as well. That's a killing spree for Weaver. He's back up to 4-3, 5-3. So this Weaver is going to start to get pretty freaking scary pretty freaking soon.
Absolutely. They're really making up for their horrendous tri-lane.
We can't overstate just how badly that early lane phase went for Ice. Like, about as badly of a lane phase as you could have. And even Puck, I mean, Puck was losing the middle lane until... I almost think like he was just like, oh, another shitty game. And then like, a Gyro comes to try to gank him. He just kicks their ass, and he's like, huh, actually this isn't going so bad.
Yeah, I think this could be the game. Ice is really pulling ahead, and because of all the kills that they're getting, they've actually managed to pull a sizable XP lead.
Mm-hmm. They may have overextended here, so they did try to get that. Actually, Gyrocopter's ultimate getting thrown again. He might get killed here. Puck actually picking up the kill there. They do manage to trade it off for the Weaver, so both carries going down. Weaver actually buys back and uses the little trick where you buy back and use your Weaver ultimate to get back in immediately. I don't know if this is actually worth it. This is really, really questionable. He might just get another death here. But Puck continuing to throw out tons of damage, and the support's getting picked off as well. And actually, Weaver gets a double kill, so I was wrong. If he manages to escape from Quap here, this could be huge.
You gotta be kidding me. This is getting to the point where I cannot believe Ice is doing this.
Oh my god. I mean, it's that... I feel like in both games, they're just... in a pinch, like in a really big engagement, they are really overperforming their current position. Like,
absolutely,
that was an incredible fight.
Absolutely, the coordination going on there was insane. I'm looking at this entire engagement in utter awe that I cannot believe that No Fire is giving it away like this.
Oh my god, and I don't know if you were watching that, but Darkseer, completely unnecessary attempt to kill Clinks there by jumping on top of him with a vacuum ion shell, and Clinks just turns it right around. He has rank 3 strafe, so his attack speed is very, very good. Completely unnecessary move from Windrunner there.
You know what, that's still going to be like the most confusing thing ever. But I cannot believe that they were able to throw away that early advantage.
Yeah.
The goal finally in favor of Ice. The XP heavily in favor of Ice.
They've really turned this around. And keep in mind, it's a lot of that gold too. Like even though some of the earned gold that No Fire has gone into, look at how many wards they have. Look at how many sentries they're placing. Like, they've spent a lot of money trying to get these additional kills in this Weaver, and they've gotten a few. But even so, he's picked up 7 kills.
Yeah, and this is compared to Gyrocopter, who's finally gone negative. He's 4 and 5.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're No Fire, you gotta... They really have to tighten up a little bit. I think they... So, all credit due to Ice. They played amazingly, and they managed to turn a situation where they were way behind into a situation where they're way ahead. But if you're No Fire, like, you definitely have to be cognizant of the fact that you sort of pissed away a pretty substantial early game advantage in this.
Absolutely. That was big throws coming out. We're talking, like, come with me level throws right here.
We're talking, like, Dota TV actually is right for once levels of throws. Actually, they're going to try to get this Clinks, and they might do it. He is dusted for a pretty long period of time still. Will the Sven and Lina catch up? That's the question.
Why wouldn't...
KVH really has to land the second stream, or he might actually escape from this. No, they do manage to pick off Bilo on the Clinks. So he did a good job, I think, of running in the right direction, but not quite.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job of escaping. He just got barely tagged in Stream of Pain range.
Worth noting, in terms of pure farm, this wow, they actually get a pick off top as well. So they managed to take the Darkseer down. This the 3v1 they wanted to have. They finally sort of get at the top. But it's worth noting, Clinks is the most developed person on the map just on pure last hits. Obviously not in terms of kills, because the Weaver has been part of just so much more stuff. It looks like Gyrocopter will live. Oh my god!
He got killed by the breaking damage from the Dream Coil. I would be so upset.
Oh, you can't.
What happened to me?
Feel good about what just happened there. Oh,
God.
he TP's out successfully, but the TP triggers the last second of the Dream Coil and it kills him.
That's absurd.
Brutal.
Like, oh man.
Brutal. And he has his Yasha. I think he's probably has to just go straight BKB from this point, right?
Absolutely. I think against a team like Ice, they need the BKB. The problem is, Puck Clinks
is ruling the airwaves.
Well,
807.
Punk is stomping. But also Clinks got his Orchid.
Yeah, absolutely. He has his Orchid developed. He's doing pretty well. Level 11, so is he the most highest level person on the map? No, Puck, obviously, but Clinks and Weaver not far behind.
I'd like to point out just here, this entire area, KVH is so dead.
Queen of Pain is dead? Maybe, but Clinks is probably dead too.
Not a chance in hell KVH is going to get out of here alive.
So he cops the Orchid. Yeah, no, he's probably dead. But they might trade. I mean, they do. Lina and Sven are smoked. They could probably run up.
I don't know. The reason why I say that is just because the timing. He's going to take like 3 or 4 strikes to finish off KVH here.
Right.
Because the silence, he's dead. I can't think of a way. I guess close as It's Your Boy and Dong Dead are. They're not close enough.
They're not close enough to save him, I don't think. They might be close enough to get the kill. Although, actually, Queen of Pain is the one holding the dust, so that's quite interesting. Actually, he doesn't use the Searing Arrows. Why didn't he pop those Searing Arrows? So this will be a trade, most likely, I feel like. They do have enough damage actually to take these down. So, oh, they get him. So, a trade, Clinks for Queen of Pain. But I think if you're Ice, you feel okay about that trade. Like, even though Clinks is your most developed person, you've got this Weaver free farming at this point top. He's finally gotten the room he needs. He's leveling very quickly. And you're ahead enough that I think it's okay to get trades and just look to develop your heroes.
Absolutely, especially because all the gold there just went to the supports, and these are supports that don't have anything going for them right now. Right, they picked off the Queen of Pain, and the Queen of Pain will actually do something with more gold than Sven or Lina will at this point.
Sven isn't anywhere near. They actually blinked the wrong way, so Puck doesn't manage. They don't manage to get the gyrocopter right there. They did guess at where he would try to escape to. And actually, this might be a pincer. This might be a very difficult situation for Ice here. They may lose some heroes. Queen of Pain throwing out a Sonic Wave, and the call down from the gyrocopter is going to be enough to at least pick up the kill on the Rubik. Looks like Homing Missile will get the Shadow Demon as well. And Puck's in a bit of trouble as well. She does get a AoE silence, and it looks like he'll Puck out of this. Oh, the blink dagger isn't up yet. So a lot of damage still being copped. He's going to have to phase shift. He's going to have to phase shift and then blink dagger off of it. Oh, taken down. So very good play by No Fire there to do that pincer attack with all of their heroes from the tier 1 and the tier 2 tops.
He didn't have enough. He doesn't have enough levels on his phase shift to do that combo.
Oh, to get all the time necessary to get the blink dagger cooldown up.
Yeah, it's 2.25 seconds on the phase shift.
You're totally right. He needs one more. He actually needs one more XP. Like, literally one experience point would give the 4th rank.
That was the difference between life and death for Puck.
It absolutely was. I mean, it's a game of inches, right? Like, you really can die because you didn't have one experience point.
Yeah, that's the only problem with a tiering system, but, like a leveling system like that. But, you know, regardless, it's still
Blink's in a lot of trouble as well, so No Fire doing a very good job of setting up these ganks and trying to sort of take that advantage back. And he may escape from this, actually. It looks like he's going to walk away. No Fire very smartly turning around as soon as the multiple TPs come out.
Oh, there's a Purge dropped onto Queen Pain.
Actually, that's very, very bold. I'm not sure if they can actually... It looks like the Purge is already over. The Dream Coil does go out. And he does actually pop it, I think, earlier than he wanted to. Queen of Pain is silenced. This is going to be a lot of damage getting thrown out from Puck and Shadow Demon here. But not quite enough, and this is turning right around. Puck will actually... Oh, good defensive disruption. The Puck is going to have to face shift immediately. He doesn't get it, and Puck is down. This is a fight that I'm not sure I should be continuing to take. Queen of Pain, it looks like it's going to escape, no problem. Homing Missile is going to go out from the Rubik. That might end up killing that Quap 5 years later. We'll check that out when it happens. And Ice, it looks like, are still attempting to chase. Actually, that's not going to take down the Queen of Pain. She's going to be fine.
It's going to get killed by the towers on the way.
Yeah, the mid towers, if nothing else. Yep. So, definitely an overextension there. They do get the Lina, but it's an exchange for the Puck, and I really don't think they need to not be... Like, Puck does already have Blink Dagger, but they would love to add on something like a Sheepstick, especially before Gyro gets BKB. And that's not going to happen at this rate.
I'd like to call this a game of throws.
I don't think what they've done rises to the level of throwing.
It's getting pretty close.
Ice definitely did like win a hard-fought advantage, and now they're just sort of losing the puck all over the place, which definitely isn't what you want to do. But let's keep in mind, Weaver hasn't participated in any of those fights. He has 4K gold. He might go Radiance again. This might be a yet.
I hope not.
I think he just.
Although Radiance is a lot better on Weaver.
It's better on Weaver than it is on PL. And it's
because,
better at 20 minutes than it is at 34 minutes, right?
Yeah, because at least the burn,
he's gonna go
at least the damage component does something for Weaver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he is going to go Radiance, yeah. So a reasonably timed one. I am personally not the world's biggest fan of Radiance on heroes that aren't named Lone or Druid, so I don't know. But a big fight going out again, and they lose Rubik, and they're going to lose the puck again, I think.
No, he has that max level.
Probably will be able to blink out of this.
Oh. Gotta shift Q!
You gotta shift Q, yeah. That's really what this is, I feel like. I feel like it's not shift Qing the blink command.
Alright, one thing I totally forgot. Rocket Barrage had siege creeps.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does. So it's actually really good at pushing lanes that way. It's something I never really noticed until I saw it in game. Because it's not something I would ever try.
Right. It looks like no fire going to just follow up. They're going to pick up this tier 2 tower. There's really not a lot that Ice could actually do about this. Again, because, you know, the Weaver doesn't really have items that are relevant at this stage of the game. He doesn't have his Radiance yet. He's getting there, but not quite yet. Clinks has jumped in. He orchids the Queen of Pain, but she manages to walk away pretty comfortably. And they're already taking a lot of damage. The Clinks is forced to retreat. The Shadow Demon isn't getting anything done. And this Weaver is actually in a lot of trouble as well, especially when he's already used his time stop. He can't walk away. He gets hit by the Lina, and that manages to take him quite a bit farther away from his Radiance. Rubik in a lot of trouble. Queen of Pain throwing out her ultimate. She's got her Ogre Club, most likely going to get built into a BKB as well. And no fire again, this game is turned around.
This is I said it like 5 seconds ago. This is a Game of Thrones. I swear to God. Both sides just throwing as hard as they can in the second game.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
It's gotten to that level. I'm not even joking. Like, we're seeing pucks forgetting to shift Q their blink dagger to avoid dying.
Yeah, definitely. I think the big difference in these last couple fights has been the fact that they've lost the puck early. The puck did so much work for those critical early engagements to first give Ice the advantage.
He didn't even get the Dream Coil off in that last engagement. That's really bad.
Absolutely. Like, they need this puck. This is one of their most developed heroes. Not at this point, but I mean, he's still huge. Clinks does manage to get a pick off on Lina, so that's useful for him. He's working towards his BKB as well. Gonna try to avoid. There is a lot of both teams. There's a lot of reward to both teams getting BKB. If you're Ice, you don't want to get hit by the Lina Sven combo. You definitely don't want to get hit by the Gyrocopter call down at the same time as you get hit by a Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain.
The big thing about the cooldown, though, is that a lot of the cooldown... First of all, the cooldown doesn't hit that hard. It's 450 damage. It's the slow, but the slow goes through BKB.
Right. Wait, yeah, you're right. It does.
So
well,
it's like...
Even so, I mean...
You manage to avoid a little bit of damage, and then he's going to Rocket Barrage you, or as soon as your BKB drops. I swear to God, this is the luckiest Gyrocopter I've ever seen. He's stacked 4 times, and he's only gotten Dragon Camps.
That is very convenient. You gotta love getting
it's actually the most golden XP you can get from an Ancient Camp. The fact that he's got this so many times in a row is absurd.
And they're also the easiest to kill, in addition to
this is like an absurd amount of luck.
Well, there's only, there's 3 possibilities for the spawns?
So you got...
1 out of 9 is this chance, basically.
Three possibilities, right?
So you got 1 out of 9. So not the luckiest, but pretty lucky.
It's not 1 in 9, though. It's 33% to the 5th.
Why would it be to the 5th?
Because he did it 5 times.
Oh, did he really do it 5 times? Sorry, I only saw 3 stacks, but that actually is insane.
I saw 3 stacks before, and then he stacked it again and got a 4th stack.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's 1 in 81. That's less. That's a little bit more than a 1% chance, and that's not.
Rubik actually getting caught out of position as well. This is going to be another kill, so No Fire, once again, just seizing an advantage in these engagements, starting out by taking out the critical heroes and just making sure that Ice are on the back foot right from the beginning. And this Radiance is still not here. This Weaver is still not even equipped with the Radiance. I don't know about it. Clinks is putting a bit of pressure on the top tier 2, so they are going to TP2 back for the Sven and Lina come. They're going to try to... I don't think they can chase Clinks down. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I had a friend who used to play Clinks almost exclusively, right?
One of the meanwhile, Queen of Pain... Oh, the loser orb doesn't walk over the right part to actually do it.
But I had a friend that used to play Clinks exclusively, right? And what we learned with his exclusive Clinks play is that once he had an MKB, you could backdoor towers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Clinks does pretty incredible damage.
All you need to backdoor tower, so MKB plus Death Pack backdooring towers.
Right. I mean, Searing Arrows, it works on buildings, so Clinks is really no slouch on the pushing department, especially, like, solo.
Absolutely. With that strafe especially, he just pushes so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, both teams sort of taking a slightly defensive posture. I think they would both. We saw some things going out on Roshan, so I think both teams would love to pick up a Rosh for their carries of choice, either on the Gyrocopter or even maybe the Quap. No, more likely the Gyrocopter, and then probably onto the Weaver for Ice.
If we look at the net worth graph again, Gyrocopter actually managed to pull himself as the top farmer in this game.
Yep, he had fallen behind, but I think with I mean, he's back up to 8 and 6, so he was 4 and 5, and then he was part of enough fights that he just managed to get a lot of fight gold. Like you can see,
both sides were pinging Roche for a little bit, so it's possible.
I think both teams. I think most likely the next big engagement we're going to see is going to be in that Roshan pit. But Gyrocopter will be pretty well equipped for that. He is probably about 2/3, a little more to his BKB. He has that 2,900 gold. Most likely, I think we're going to see him make a BKB after this, and he has the full Manta style as well. So. A decent amount of damage, pretty good attack speed, and good maneuverability with the phase drums Manta style.
He does mess up the pull, the stack, but
yeah, it happens. That camp is annoying to stack. In my
opinion. Big Roche fight happening, and I don't know. I think they saw that with this ward. I could be wrong though.
I don't know. So I'm not sure if this ward spotted it out, and they don't seem to be doing any sort of reaction to it. So this might actually be a free Roshan for Ice. They're about halfway done. It doesn't look like anything is going to happen. It looks like they're probably just going to take down Roshan. Who do you think this is going to go on, Clinks or Weaver?
Probably Clinks. Oh, nobody. They're giving it the puck.
Just going to casually, just looks like a Rubik Aegis. Pretty typical, pretty normal, standard.
Yeah, Rubik needs that Aegis, man.
Man, I mean, he's been dying, man. He needs that Aegis.
Yeah, you got to give the Aegis to the people who are dying.
Exactly, that's right.
that is some serious pub. That is some pub logic right there.
Look, he earned that Aegis, all right.
that is like the most pub logic you are going to see in this game.
Aegis, I think they just didn't communicate. Like they weren't. I think Clinks thought Weaver was taking it. Weaver thought Clinks was taking it. So.
And I think they all thought Puck was going to take it. I don't know.
At any rate, No Fire are going to look to pick up an outer tower. Worth noting, like they've pushed in the middle completely, but all these side lanes all the towers were up for them. So they are actually Fortify does go out, so it looks like we're gonna see Ice try to defend this. Puck jumps in, he lands his Dream Coil, so that's pretty well timed. Weaver's going to jump in and try to get more off that. Clinks' BKB is done, he's dealing quite a bit of damage. Rubik, before he dies, manages to throw out the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, but Weaver actually already down, he has to pop his Aegis, and a lot of damage being thrown out. Ice's heroes are just really suffering at this point. Weaver is going to try to clean this up on the back half, so Lena already down, he's going to probably go for Sven next. He needs to Shooky out before Queen of Pain manages to kill him off. Where's their gem? Oh, they do have a Sentry. The Sentry is enough to actually get the Weaver taken down. So, not quite favorable for Ice. They lose 3 for 2, and they lose the Aegis as well, so really 4 for 2.
I think the big deal is that they lost Weaver twice, and they lost some of their supports where No Fire just lost their Gyrocopter.
To pick up Sven, he will probably get him, but I'm not sure if he's going to survive afterwards. Does he know that the Sentry is here? That's really
KVS is dead.
He does get KVH, actually. He's going to try to chase down those Darks as well. It's actually a great mop-up from Clinks here, turning lemons into lemonade. I completely misspoke yesterday. I think I was casting or I was playing, and I said turning lemonade into lemons, and my friends got really were amused.
I don't know how you do that in reverse. That is some serious magic lemonade you got right there.
Also, like, that'd be really unfortunate. Like, you'd probably feel bad about yourself. Like, god damn it, turn lemonade back into lemons.
I gotta like throw these to people or something now.
Exactly. But anyway, I think Clink's making the best of what was not a great team fight for them. Really, he manages to once again sort of get up into the high farm status.
Clinks is probably one of the best mop-up heroes in the game. Like,
oh yeah.
To be honest. It's just that he puts out so much damage in short periods of time that when people are on low health, he just shows up and finishes them very quickly.
He could just turn somebody from
a living because of
the
small model size, he's pretty unassuming. You don't really see it.
both psychologically and actually in terms of being able to see it in the game.
Like, compared to Gyrocopter, you can't miss the flying helicopter, man. You can't miss the small skeleton bowman.
Absolutely. That's definitely true. So Clinks, I definitely do think he's going to build towards the MKB next. That's I think the most likely route that he'll take.
MKB is probably his best item.
Yep.
Let's push uphill, and it gives him a mini bash, so it gives him something to stop people from just TPing away from him.
Yep, which becomes critical the more HP people get. I mean, they become much more likely to TP out of your ganks the longer the game goes. So it's really great to have that mini bash on the NKB there. In addition to just the damage efficiency of it.
Speaking of pickups that I absolutely love, Darkseer with his Ghost Scepter, that's going to be a great pickup against the...
Definitely. I mean, as this game goes on, Ice is really going to be primarily relying on the damage from the Weaver and the Clinks. So if you're Darkseer, I mean, that's really going to be useful to keep you alive. So Clinks can still deal some damage, right, through Ghost Scepter, just because of
no, you can't target anyone who is ethereal with any orb effects. That includes things like Arcane Orb.
Is that right?
Yeah. If you can't target them with a right click, you're not going to do that. Can, however, Orb walk out of ethereal.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I learned that the hard way the other day. I tried. I tried on my OD. I really did. Didn't work.
Right.
Instead, I just clicked R. That worked.
But yeah, definitely critical pickups for No Fire Wisp bottom here. They've got the BKB up on Gyrocopter and the Helm of the Dom, which will give him even more survivability with that additional lifesteal that he's going to get with the 5 cannon. So this Gyrocopter becoming a really formidable force, 15,000 net worth at this point. They do lose a tower, so Ice doing a good job rotating BKB for Weaver now as well.
Yeah, Weaver definitely needs the BKB. He's getting locked down really hard in these engagements.
Darkseer tried to do the douchey high ground vacuum, but he missed it.
Well, even if he did it on Benhaz, he could just literally just time lapse.
He could time lapse, yeah, right.
And leave and like whoop-de-doo.
Oh, but the style points, man.
40 seconds later, he's back and doesn't care.
What did
that's a really good steal. He stole Warcry.
Warcry's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I guess for Sven, it's better than Weaver managing to BKB at a very good time. This Sonic Wave does almost nothing. They might need to retreat here. Good Darkseer wall, actually, making that Clink solution, but Darkseer pays with his life for that. So not much happening in this fight so far, just one death for a lot of ultimates being thrown out. But I think Ice have a position that they can chase and continue to get kills. So Weaver already picking up Sven. He might continue chasing. Gyrocopter coming in from the side. This is going to be a ton of damage from this Gyrocopter. Just the call down alone and the Darkseer illusions actually doing work as well. Rubik dying. Clink's in a lot of trouble. Gyrocopter in the midst of his BKB. It looks like Weaver's going to try to 1v1 fight this out, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. It's not.
Honestly, that trade came out ahead for No Fire. They got the kills on Gyrocopter.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
That's definitely true.
And they still lost 3 for that.
Right.
Or 2 for that. So it was a 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah.
So
but they did get the tier 1 top tower as well. So they get the tier 1 top. They more or less evenly trade, and Gyrocopter doesn't die and manages to pick up quite a few kills. So definitely useful for No Fire, I think, in that respect. And the DT rune for Gyrocopter as well. So this is going to come down more and more to, which team's carry is really going to develop quicker. Puck actually finally picking up that Scythe of Ice. I really feel like if he hadn't gotten those couple unnecessary deaths, this would have come much earlier. And the fact that it's now coming substantially after the BKB for Gyrocopter rather than before is very substantial. But we do have to keep in mind, Puck can initiate on its own terms, and sometimes it can preempt that BKB with that Scythe of Ice. And that'll be a fight that Ice will definitely be willing to take at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can get that Scythe of Ice off onto the Gyrocopter, it's going to be a big deal. Just because of how much damage Gyrocopter does in these team fights now. He hits for 149 damage. That's a lot of base damage.
And I mean, when he does it to everybody, that's...
Actually, he hits for 229 damage.
Yeah, without the DT.
Yeah, so that's a
Rubik
lot
in a lot
of
of trouble. Does he actually have a Force Staff? No, he's not quite at it yet. So this is going to be a dead Rubik, no question about it.
He stole Call Down, but then he lost it immediately.
Yeah.
Or even better, he might have stole Rocket Barrage.
I think he actually got Rocket Barrage, but yeah. Not gonna do much.
It didn't matter. That's some really cheeky pulling.
I don't
just
think that was ever
vacuum him down the cliff for the funnies. But again, Whitebeard does a lot of damage. It's like these this damage is kind of absurd, honestly.
Yep. And actually, a lot of damage being done to this tower already. They do pop the God Strength at a not quite auspicious time relative to this fortification, but they're going to just take this tower down extremely quickly. Ice have to probably make a move here. The Clink's going out, pops his BKB, actually Orchid's down somebody, but it's not quite enough damage. Gong Dad 420 getting taken down in this event very, very quickly. And now Darkseer's in a lot of trouble as well, actually. Weaver actually getting that pick off very, very quickly. We've got a TP coming back in from Rubik, who just got back in. Gyrocopter lifted up. Does he have his BKB? He does, and he's going to be dealing a lot of damage back. but heroes from Nofire are getting taken down everywhere other than this gyrocopter. And now we might actually see this gyrocopter go down. The Klink steals the last hit, Queen of Pain with her BKB, but she has to blink out of this very, very quickly or she's in trouble. She does TP out, but Nofire really stretching their luck there. They almost get the tower. They get it down to 260, but they lose 4 for 0?
0. They didn't kill anything.
Did we get a... I think somebody might have bought back. No, actually, yeah, 4 for 0. So, again, Ice, in these big engagements, when they know the engagement is going to happen, their poise, I think, is just incredible. Like, they have amazing coordination in those situations.
I think in no small part, one of the big reasons why they were able to put out so much damage is, look at what Rubik stole!
Rocket Barrage! You have like a Rocket Barrage related vendetta, I feel like.
Oh no, I absolutely love this ability. It's probably one of the best abilities in the game.
It's pretty strong.
When Gyrocopter came out, right, and I did this for Lycanthrope as well. I thought he was gonna be the most OP hero ever. And then my first game, I went 15-0, which is in no small part because people ran away from the rockets.
Right.
And seeing Gyrocopter finally enter like competitive Dota as a first pick,
yeah,
first
not just
ban
competitive
material,
Dota. He's one of the
right. It makes me so happy, right? Because this is a hero
like ultimate vindication for you.
That like I loved, and I cannot believe. He got picked. Necronomicon picked up by Puck. This is just fun.
This is a very, very well developed Puck. We have to notice. So he's going to be moving towards that Necro 3 as soon as he can. So the True Sight not going to be useful for them, but the additional pushing power and the additional damage that will be useful. And Gyrocopter can't control his AOE damage. So
yeah, I think one of the big things is it makes any hero with AOE damage very, very sad.
Yep.
The only like
BKB will block the backlash damage though.
The windfall is that if he does have the BKB pops in time, last roll doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because it is pure damage, not HP removal.
Right. So the BKB will block it, but this Gyrocopter has already used a couple, so it is down to 8 seconds. Still a very long BKB, but as these fights continue happening, I mean, it actually will pay off. For now, at Necro 1, it's not going to do all that much. But again, Puck might get caught out here. He's really... Does he realize how much danger he's in right now? Gyrocopter getting picked up, so pretty good pickup from the Rubik there, and that's a pretty early BKB for the Gyro. Rubik actually escaping completely from the cooldown as well. Puck in the back, meanwhile, does get the Dream Coil off, but he's in a lot of trouble again. Will he shift to the Link? He does this time. Lina now getting taken down by the Weaver and Shadow Demon combination, and Sven will probably get caught out as well. So again, Ice taking an advantageous fight, taking out those 2 supports very, very quickly. No core heroes down for Nofire, but they have to sort of run away with their tail between their legs, I think.
I'm gonna say this right now. If Nofire really want to win this game, they gotta go ballsy. Gotta pick up the
I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, the Gyrocopter alone against a Weaver and Klinks who are developing as quickly as they are is going to be a tough situation for them. And Gyrocopter gets caught out. He doesn't have his BKB. This is going to be a ton of damage getting thrown. He gets kicked off immediately. He's forced to buy back instantaneously. He does still have a ton of gold, but that's a 5-minute cooldown on that buyback. They're forced to fortify. They do actually buy back the Lina as well, even though she had a very low time, but they almost have to. They have to defend this tower.
I think it was just the buyback alone was going to be enough to keep them from wanting to engage anymore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think
so definitely good.
Yeah.
But again, like I was saying, if Nofire wants to really win this game right now, they gotta go ballsy. They gotta.
Puck get out. Puck is in a lot of trouble here. Actually, I'm not sure the phase shift will come. It will come off, so he's probably.
But he blinks.
Dodges the call down as well. So good enough play from him. I just get worried about this Puck because he did get those early deaths, right? So I'm like, I'm always like, will we get away? Will we get away?
But Roche is up, and it looks like that's what they're going for now. Nofire.
Yeah, and I think they're taking your advice to heart, right? They know that at this point they're the team that has to take chances. To get themselves back into the game, they have to play a little more loosely.
They're going to be completely spotted here.
Yeah, I mean, Ice has perfect vision of this. The Weaver is starting to walk in. A good Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain, but I don't think it'll be nearly enough. Darkseer might get picked off right from the beginning. Weaver actually copping quite a bit of damage, but the time lapse is enough to get him back into this. Now he's just one-on-one fighting with the Queen of Pain and the Gyrocopter. Rubik with an excellent telekinesis. That might actually be critical. That might be the Gyrocopter. And that's another critical kill for him. Just no buyback on this Gyrocopter, and a godlike streak for the Klinks. They pick up 4, they'll pick up Roshan off the back of it, and most likely they could just go on to a Rax from this point. Gyrocopter's not up for 70 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think Queen of Pain has... No, Queen does have enough for buyback, but again, Lina's also gone for a while, and Darkseer doesn't have... No, he does have buyback as well. So there's 2 buybacks available, but that alone is not going to hold off.
But yeah, it's going to be tough for them. Did they put the Aegis on Weaver? They did, and he's well on the way to his Butterfly as well. And Gyrocopter, I mean, especially with that buyback, he's a decent amount of the way to his MKB, but he's not quite there yet.
I'm saying he's got to go... At this point, they're starting to fall behind in the late game. They got to go full in all out. They got to go all or nothing.
Absolutely. It looks like...
They got to go for the...
It does look like Ice are not going to attempt to Rax off of that, but I do want to note, there's no Tier 3 tower bottom, and the Tier 3 tower middle has taken some damage, so one more fight that goes as poorly for No Fire as that last one went, and that's Rax's. No question about it. This Clinks is, we have to note, this Clinks is now 12-3. He's got his Daedalus. He's almost there on his MKB as well, and that's just, I mean, he was dealing incredible amounts of sustained damage in that fight, especially because there's so many attractive targets on Ice. Like,
absolutely. Actually, I think he's going to go for a backdoor right now, and he has that option. He has more than enough damage to backdoor Rax.
Now let's note, No Fire are cognizant of the possibility of a backdoor. They've got this Sentry Ward already placed here, in the place of where the tower used to be, and that's very smart of them to put this here.
Yeah, absolutely, because when you have a Clinks, you got to be aware that backdoors.
Oh, and a Seth advice going on in the Gyrocopter. They're going to try to catch him out, but I'm not sure. Actually, the Dream Coil as well. He pops the Manta, but he still gets caught out. This Weaver's going to take down the Gyrocopter, and that's incredibly bad for No Fire. This could be, they really have to make sure that they don't lose any more in this fight. Weaver might lose his Aegis. He does lose the Aegis, but he's just going to come right back up. He's got his Butterfly done, and they're going to attempt to pressure even harder. The bottom lane is pushing in. The creeps are already starting to deal damage to the Raxes, while Ice attempts to knock down the front door of No Fire, and they don't have Gyrocopter for another minute. That's very, very rough for them.
This is probably a good game. They're going to have enough Raxes available.
A good Darkseer wall, a good Vacuum, and a good Sonic Wave off the back of it, but Clinks is now BKB'd. He's taking down these illusions extremely quickly. Lena gets taken down, Darkseer gets taken down, another double kill for Weaver, and that's going to be 2 sets of Rax right there.
It could be all 3. Top tower's almost dead.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, they could easily. Gyrocopter's still not up for 30 seconds, and the rest of the team has even more time. Queen of Pain jumping in, not enough, and immediately gets swatted back down. That was definitely a last-ditch effort. I mean, that was not really
this is a
well
GG.
considered. And yeah, I think Ice are going to take out the second game and take us to a decisive Game 3, which is always what we want to see. And in that early lane phase, I mean, I was concerned. I thought that we might just see a 2-0, but Ice managing to turn it around with some incredibly well-conducted engagements.
Absolutely. The Puck play in this game was absolutely fantastic, and that's really the game changer here. Puck was able to show up when he needed to, made those early game fights finally favor their side, and because of that, they were able to pull a massive win here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be a huge morale booster for you too. Like, it's whenever you are losing that badly in an early game, and then it just completely turns on a dime. That just, you feel so good after something like that. And I think Ice are definitely feeling that they can easily compete for Game 3 in this series.
Absolutely, this is an incredibly close set, and it's tough. It's really tough for No Fire, realizing that they threw. This is a game of throws. Like there's nothing really to say.
Clinks damage. The Sun does escape with the Ethereal Blade, so good job on the Netolic. Sorry, the Ghost Scepter. Good Ghost Scepter usage there, no question.
Yeah, but it's like when in a game like this, you got to realize this was a game of throws.
I mean, yeah, definitely. We almost saw Ice then give up their hard one advantage as well, so definitely worth noting.
At a brief period of time, like Ice almost threw, and No Fire threw several times actually. So.
But not to take anything away from the teams, Ice really did get themselves back into the
both
game.
sides
the when they and the team fight coordination was just so high level. Yeah,
both sides when they were on their high points played so well, right? In the ultra early game, so well for No Fire,
that
so
tree
bad.
Cutting with the Sven was just like
that was like next level.
Next level. It
was next level tri-lane support. But then you get your round 2s where Puck shows up and completely stomps your tri-lane, and it goes back and forth.
Yep. All right, so I guess we're going to go up into the Game 3 in just a bit. I will be back in like 2 minutes.